All right, some people in the ChessGoals Discord have been talking about the Aimchess quiz, so I'm going to take this quiz and talk you through my thoughts. We have 25 positions. It should take about 10 minutes, and it's going to reveal my relative strength in 5 key aspects: opening, middle game, ending, strategy, and tactics. Puzzles will be adjusted to your level. All right, I'll try expert. We'll see how it goes. Puzzle 1 of 25. Play the best of the suggested moves. Rook takes bishop. Can I draw arrows? No. Rook takes bishop or rook takes pawn. Okay. So rook takes pawn is a free pawn. But there's going to be an issue with rook takes f2, maybe. Rook takes bishop. Looks like the more critical try. After pawn takes, we have rook down check, king here, knight f8 check, king back, knight g6 check, king back. So there is a perpetual there. So the question is, what's better? Rook takes bishop, pawn takes with a perpetual. I don't see any more than the perpetual there unless I'm missing something. Or rook takes pawn, threatening rook down to the 8th rank check. But I think black is better there. There's time for black to make a move and then take one of the pawns next. So I think white wants to bail out with the perpetual check. Let's try. Rook takes bishop. Oh, it doesn't tell you the answer. All right, so we got 25 puzzles with not much time left. All right, so knight here, hitting the pin knight, or bishop to a5, pinning the knight to the queen. Knight here jumps out at me as the strongest move, but there is knight here in reply, hitting this pin knight, and that's in front of my king. So I think it's actually better to play the bishop out, not allowing knight to d5, which would ruin my castle position. I think this is more important. Oh, where to put the king? Okay, so this is going to come down to timing. White's going to play a5 next. So I think what we want to do is play king f5, king f3, and then a5, b3, b6, and this king runs out and moves. Take the knight or retreat. So taking the knight gives up the bishop pair, but retreating there's g4, bishop back. I should know this. It's kind of a common strategic idea. A lot of players do take the knight, because I think if your bishop comes back here, it kind of gets stuck there, and there's always knight h4 later. I'm thinking we want to take. That bishop runs into a pawn. Okay, rook d2 or push the pawn. Push the pawn looks very strong, hitting the knight. Rook d2. What are we preventing with rook to d2? It just appears to be a trade offer. I think I'd rather do this. I gotta go faster. G3 or drop the bishop back. Okay. I'm thinking g3 because I want to avoid any back rank checkmate ideas. Knight takes knight or bishop takes bishop. Bishop takes, the knight can take back, knight takes knight. Pawn takes, leaves a weak pawn. I think I'm winning a pawn in this line. Okay, knight e4 or rook to e8. Knight e4, bishop takes, knight e4, if knight takes, pawn takes, hitting the queen. I like knight e4. Where to retreat the bishop? It's more active on h6, but if f4 ever gets played, that bishop gets trapped. I think f6 is better because it pressures the h-pawn. I'm going with my gut a little bit to save time. Pawn to e5, the knight has to retreat. Queen to g3, pressure's here and there's no castling. I think queen g3. Black can't easily get castled. Okay, trade queens or h6. Trade queens, there's no back rank mate, but the white rook comes into b6 very quickly. I think it makes more sense to... Yeah, I don't want the white rook on b6. I'm going to play h6. Which way to take the rook? Rook or queen? Queen guards the bishop. I think we want to take with rook. Oh, we have to watch checkmate threats. Knight c3 is an idea. So queen takes. Knight c3, I have queen f3. And if queen takes my bishop, then I'm up the exchange, I think. I'd like more time on that one. Bishop d3 or bishop f3? Bishop d3 points to the king. f3 feels like the solid square with e4 coming next, but d3 guards the f5 square from that bishop coming out. I'm going to go with d3. Oh, so I have a draw no matter what. I think actually h5 is critical. I don't want the white king to run around this way. I shouldn't say no matter what. I think I have to play there. Pawn takes pawn or rook c1. Pawn takes pawn helps black develop. Rook c1, there's no c4. So I'm going this way. Rook takes rook or a4. Rook takes rook gives up the file. That's a huge decision. A4 takes, I can take with the bishop. I'm going to go that way. Pawn takes pawn or bishop back. That knight's a monster. I think bishop back and try to take the knight off. Oh, queen takes, rook takes, knight takes, bishop looks kind of good. I'm going to go for it. Rook or knight takes. Rook hits the queen. Knight saves the knight, though. Rook hits the queen. Oh, but there's knight takes here, threatening mate. I think I'm going to go this way. Rook takes rook, pawn takes, I win this rook. Rook takes rook, check, take, check, I lose. So I'll go that way. H4 or queen g6. Let's see. H4, my queen looks like she's going to be trapped somehow. Let's get the queen to safety. Oh, which way to take? There's this fork coming. I think knight takes pawn push and then knight g5. Queen d4 or pawn to f4. Queen d4 hits the bishop and pawn. There is bishop here. f4 prevents that, but black can castle. I think queen d4 because I really love when I can prevent castling, and if bishop here, then I have queen here, which still stops castling. Bishop here or rook here? Rook d2 looks pretty good. Oh, but bishop here. Okay, bishop back is the idea. Rook d2, bishop back, rook takes, knight protects my bishop. So I think that wins a piece. Knight d7 or c5. c5 is usually critical in these positions. Pawn takes. Queen a5 check. I'm not getting the pawn back though. But it's the critical move in these types of positions. c5. Pawn takes. I could take the queen. c5, pawn takes. Or knight d7. I don't want to lose that pawn. I'm going to go knight d7. 17 out of 25. Oh, strategy. I got crushed. Review answers. Okay, rook takes d5. Best move, it's a draw. That's good. Bishop a5, stopping that. Good. King f5. Yeah, opposition in the end because we'll play a5, b3, b6. Bishop takes f3. Best move. Yeah, okay, so it's a closed position, so we want to exchange off the bishop. d5 is a bad move. Let's see the explanation. We should try to exchange the most active piece. d5, knight g7. Oh, there's this draw idea. But our position is so good, we want rook d2. So we want to avoid the draw. That makes sense. So I played a bad move here. g3. Bishop c4. In open position, we shouldn't allow black to exchange his knight for the bishop. Yeah, so I looked at this exact position and I just thought, well, why allow the back rank? But makes sense. Positionally, we want to keep the bishop on. Makes a lot of sense. Played knight takes e4. It's the best move. White wins material after this. Knight e4 is a bad move. Black loses material. So what did I miss? Knight takes knight, pawn takes, bishop takes bishop, queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes bishop first? No, how does this lose material? Knight takes knight, pawn takes, queen takes. Oh, bishop h6. Yeah, I didn't even consider that. Hits the rook, and now white's going to win the pawn back. So that one looks like a tactical mistake on my part. Classified it as a middle game. Bishop f6 is a bad move. Ooh, it allows the knight to head into d5. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't really appreciate the difference. These are hard. It doesn't feel like you have a lot of time when you're working to solve them. Queen g3 prevents castling. Good. h6 is a blunder. Rook e8 check. Ouch. King h7. There's queen takes, rook takes. Oh, that's a bad tactic to miss. Yeah, I did not see that coming. That's a bad tactic. Okay, these were correct. a4 is a bad move. So is a4 a bad move because pawn takes pawn? Why is a4 a bad move? Or is black going to double rooks? Maybe we want to trade rooks first and then play a4. Keep that rook on the a file. Oh yeah. So I was worried about keeping this open file under control. But we're supposed to give black the g file and then play a4. Whereas in this line, I don't have a rook ready to go on the a file, and there's a quick c5 for black to get counterplay. This knight wants to head into d4. Okay. Rook takes c3. Bad idea. So knight takes c3. Knight takes g5. That's the line I didn't like. Let's see why. Oh, knight e4 with knight f2 check. Very nice. So if knight takes queen, knight f2 check, and knight takes d3. Very nice. But after rook takes c3, queen takes b5, we drop the knight. And even though we're up the exchange here, white has a pawn forward and very active pieces. But in this line, so after knight takes g5, knight e4, knight f7, knight f2, king g2, knight takes queen, here we're winning. We're up a whole rook. So much better. Oh, I had a strong finish up until number 25. Yeah, knight d7 is more passive than c5. That's true. So c5, d takes c, knight b, c6. I do like the look of that. These are doubled c pawns. This pawn's weak, and we're getting some quicker development. But after knight d7, it's just a bit passive. Okay, I agree with that. All right, that was cool. So this is aimchess.com/public/quiz. I'll put a link in the description. And yeah, 17 out of 25 on the expert level. So go give this quiz a try and let me know in the comments which quiz you take and what your score is. I'll be interested to see. And if you agree with the takeaways too. This is saying I should really work on my strategy, which is very interesting. It's much lower than all the others. All right, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.